And you can see that the whole thing is now fallen in. If I don't watch it, I'm going to lose it all. So you can see big boo-boo right off the bat. Okay guys, so I wanted to take you through this compost tea brewing where you guys can see it going, but what I'm doing is just essentially running it for a sec, just so you guys can see the setup. Okay, now I got this pump. I think it was about 50 something dollars Canadian. I just hung it up there so it's not vibrating a lot on the surface, because you get a lot of vibration on the surface. Now this pump here comes out with one of these and then some tubing, and I was going to get a smaller unit because the amount of liters should equal the amount of gallons. So this is a 5.5 gallon or 6 gallon bucket, which again I came across, which is awesome. You can do it in a 5 gallon bucket, but then it's too close to the surface. I wanted to allow a space. So what I decided to do is get this pump. I was going to buy a $120 pump, but my wife suggested I go with this cheaper one. Let's see if it lasts. And it comes out with this manifold, and then I can simply control how much I got going in there. So if I was to put all these things in there, it'd be overboard. Okay, but I've just selected the 2 to be running, and then I've also opened up these 2 to allow air to come out and be able to use this for a 5 gallon container and or a 50 gallon container, because this does about 70 liters. So 70 liters equals 70 gallon container. So if you want to do this on a small thing and only this amount of bucket, then you can get something that is 6 liter. I was about to buy one. I forget the name of it. The difference in price between that one and this one wasn't too much. So then I got to thinking, hey, what if I just simply control this? So if I just simply shut this, you will see there's a lot more activity. Too much activity because the pump is too big. Now it's quieter, but as well I could have these tubes in another container and be doing 2 of these. So what I just decided to do, just open up the valves, control the flow, and now allow this better turbulence. You want it to be rolling, you want it to be centered. And I want to show you guys what I did. I just simply attached a fork, put it through a fork. Okay, just put it through a fork, air coming out. Just simply tied it there. You have to weigh it down to the bottom. Then just adjust it. And you're good to go. Okay, now let's start with this worm tea compost. I'm going to leave this brewing for 24 hours. There's nothing here yet, but I want to get the products. So right here I have some worm castings, and what I want to do is get 3 cups worth. This is the product that means everything. 2, okay, and I'm just telling you guys, I'm showing you a way where you can get incredible value by spraying this stuff, as opposed just to using casting. So you'd have to use a 5 gallon casting. I've done that already in the garden in some points, but you would have to use this 5 gallon, this whole 5 gallon, and then some. But instead what I'm going to do is use this amount, just 3 cups. This is very good castings, okay guys, and it's full of life. And there's a little worm in there as well. You can't save them all. So there's my 3 gallons. As well, I bought this here. which has hydrolyzed fish and seaweed fertilizer. Okay, I got this on Amazon. I forget how much. It's not cheap, but I'm only going to use a tablespoon of this. As well, you're supposed to use a tablespoon of humic acid. Now, I'm going to make humic acid. So again, this is another thing that you can buy at Amazon, or you can make by simply using this. So let me get this paint strainer. And this is the first time I'm doing this, guys. So I'm going to get this paint strainer, and I'm going to put the worm castings, 3 cups, inside the paint strainer. Just like so. Okay? It would be nice if I put it inside. Now, in order to get humic acid, what we're going to do is just simply pour water into here and have it come out. And it should be equal to 1 tablespoon of humic acid. You can make a bunch of humic acid. Now, this is something good as well to feed the worms. Let me just unplug this. No, actually, I'm going to leave it running. Another point I want to stress, okay? You want to make sure that the air is running before you put the stuff in. Okay? And never turn it off. If I'm going to turn it off, I'm going to pull it out and then turn it off. So make sure you put it in, turn it on, and now I can start the process. So to get the humic acid, I'm just going to grab some of the water here, and I'm just going to simply pour through the bag, and that's going to release the humic acid. You don't want to touch it, you just want to pour it. I could be pouring inside here, but it's hard to hold. I'm going to grab a little bit more. Just going to pour it inside, and what it releases is the humic acid. Now, again, I'm not a professional in this, but I will say is that I've been told that this humic acid will remove any chlorine that you have in the water. Okay? It's not really dark like I've seen before, but this is the humic acid that's in there already. So I've let this sit for 24 hours. And if you do this aerating for a little bit of time as well, it will release. But the chlorine's gone within 24 hours or less. So now I'm going to simply drop this in here, fold it over, and I might have to pinch that, but right now it's going through everything that's here. I actually like the idea of tying this to the tubes, to be honest with you. Might be something that I'm going to do. So now what you want to do is just simply go in here and massage it to release some of the microbes, microbial life, gently. Okay, nice and easy. I think that should work. I'm wondering if I should put that spray unit inside. You can see it's turning real nice and dark. I'm wondering potentially this inside of that center if it might be better. I'm not sure. As I cannot see the bottom. But I want to be able to catch all the... have it happened all. I don't think that this is a good idea because the bucket is bigger than 5 gallons. And I think that this only goes down to the 5 gallon level. So I'm going to put it like this for now. But I'm going to adjust that. I might keep that in the center. Okay? So now I can control the flow here anytime I want. And remember, when I'm done, I'm going to pull this out first so that no air goes backwards. And you want to pump at a higher level, essentially. You can see it coming out here. So I'm definitely going to adjust this. Okay, now we're not done yet because what we want to do is add some of the food. And this is the food for the microbes. So the humic acid is food, and so is this. So just going to add 1 tablespoon into there. And this will now feed the bacteria and the fungi. And you can see that the whole thing is now fallen in. If I don't watch it, I'm going to lose it all. So you can see big boo-boo right off the bat. Okay, so okay, we're still right side up, thank God. So you can see that what I got to do here is attach this. I'll get some clips. Bit of a mess. What I want to do here is just attach this with some clips. And I'll have to find those clips because I don't have anything right now. You just use this for now. Okay, a bit of a mess there because that thing fell in. It's not how it's supposed to be. And I'm not crazy about all this bacteria or this compost on the outside. Let me just make sure. All right. Thinking I might just tie this to the top. You just quickly go get one of these wraps. So I'll have to look at that. Okay, so that's pretty much it right there. Now we, again, like I said, you can control how much of a roll we got here by opening up the other ones. A little bit warm. See air coming in through there. Yeah, I'm going to close them a little bit so that we got a little bit more roll. You don't want the pump to fall in there, that's for sure. So be gentle. And that's pretty good. And that's it. That's the end of it. I'm going to wipe this down. But again, I'm just going to explain now what's going on here so you guys understand. This is how you make compost tea or worm tea. And now what we've done is we've added the humic acid, and we've also added hydrolysis, fish hydrolysis, right? And seaweed, okay? Kelp, essentially. Now again, this is directly like this because I don't have time to source these things in a more natural state. But this is what I'm using, and only a little tablespoon, so you can see this is going to do quite a bit. Then what you're going to do is, once that's done, and I'm going to do it for 24 hours, okay? And that'll be about this time tomorrow evening. You want to spray that in the evening and or early morning. Okay, and then you want to use a broadcaster, which I forgot to bring down, where I'm going to attach a hose to it. And then I'm going to set it to 8, setting that is 8. And it's going to broadcast water and this bacteria. So what we're doing here is now we've let loose the living organisms, the microorganisms in here. And we're feeding them. And we're giving them oxygen, and so they're multiplying. And in 24 hours there'll be way more. I don't know how much, but way more. How's that? And so then I'll take this and pour it through water. I'll show you guys when I'm doing that. And then you want to do this probably one time a week. And basically what you're doing is combating any of the other organisms that are contrary, that are not beneficial, and you're just basically putting these in there so that, diseases and stuff from the plants are not going to happen. This is, again, something new, but I just showed you guys how to set up a simple system. You don't have to hang it like this, but I'm just doing it so that it's not vibrating and making more noise. By closing this, you don't hear as much, so maybe putting 2 more into another bucket will help, will be beneficial. But it's looking really good. It's rolling beautifully. The water's on the bottom, so we're getting good rolling and releasing all the microbes. I think it's going to be successful. I got to make sure that this doesn't fall though. Should put something across it. You can see that there is some vibration. Okay, so you will get vibration. There is some noise, not much, but there is some noise. That's all I wanted to say. So we're doing the compost tea now, guys. This here, again, my idea about this right here. Let me talk about this. Another profit center for uber worms. Now, what is being done that is incorrect in what I see? Well, they are bottling this. They're putting a cap on it, and then it's going onto a shelf. It's not being used right away. Is that affecting the microorganisms? 1000%. You're losing population by doing that. A lot of these organisms are dying because you've depleted their air. Okay? We don't want to do that. So what do we want to do? We want it done, and then we want to spray it. So is there a profit? Is there a marketplace for that? Absolutely. And where and who is the market? Gardens. The biggest crop in existence today is grass. People have grass, they cut it, they feed it, they do whatever. And they want green grass, so that's one market as well. Gardens, okay? People don't know how to or what they should put organically on their garden. So once a week, do you think that's a market where you come around, right? Take orders, say, I'm doing a compost tea today. Who wants some? And then within the next 24 to 48 hours, you come around with their water and this, which is the valuable gold, spray it and get paid. By putting it in one of these containers per se, it's not correct. You don't put that in here, shelf it, and then say, oh look, it's gold, it's organic compost tea, beneficial. No, that's not how it works, folks. You have to be current and alive. It has a 48-hour lifespan for maximum potential. So you be that provider, or have them come over, you pour it into these containers within the 24 to 48 hours so that they can take it home and spread that with the broadcaster that I'm going to show you guys tomorrow. Okay? So yeah, worms, compost tea, humic acid, these are all products. What else? This other stuff here, I'm going to show you guys, give you guys a little peek. You guys want to see fungi? I want you to take a look at that experiment. Fungi in a bag. Is this a product? Yeah. Food waste composted in a different way. The process by which I am testing April 11. Do you see it? Do you see the composting taking place? Do you see the fungi? You see it? Right? And what is this? This is the food waste that's through a process being turned and composted in a positive way and being fed to the worms. Therefore, the compost now is fungally dominated. This compost alone, $50 per bucket, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 buckets right here. I got a lot more here. I got worms here, worms there. Compost $50 a bucket. Or take this compost and make compost tea. Now you've just elevated the value. That's what we're doing, multiplying microorganisms and also elevating the value. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see the outcome, I can't turn the light on here, unfortunately, because it's taking my power. Subscribe, like this video, subscribe. And Uber Worms is, well, again, if you don't know what Uber Worms is, I have a video to explain what we're doing here. We're doing it nice and easy, slowly, and we're trying to put together a system whereby we can share this method and actually create a market and actually tackle food waste in a very positive way, in a way where you can make some money at it and you're not going to be alone. Take care until the next one.